Welcome once again to Prismatics online class. In this class, we are asked to evaluate the following. What would we do? Solution. Always recall from complex number. Recall that from complex number that I is equal to what? Square root of what? Minus 1. From our previous class, you can recall that I is equal to what? So minus 1. I want to make this minus 1 to stay as the subject of the formula. So what will I do? I will say square the both sides in order to remove this square root. Because of the presence of square root, we have to square the both sides of this in order to remove the square root. Now, square of I is equal to square of the what? Square of the what? Square root of minus 1. So this square root will cancel this square. Now we are left with what? I is equal to what? Minus I square is equal to what? Minus 1. And that is it. So anywhere you see I square is equal to what? Represent what? Minus y. 1 minus 1. Anywhere you see I square represents what? Minus 1. But the question here says that we should multiply what? Multiply that we should evaluate I power 3. Now, for we to multiply I power 3 will be like this. We apply the knowledge of what? Indices. I power 3 is the same thing as somebody saying I power 2 multiplied by I. By a lot of indices, power I, power 2, power 1, 1 plus 1. A lot of indices, whenever you have multiplication, you add the powers. In as much as they have the same base. So this is I power 2, I power 1. So I power 2 plus I power 1 will give you I power 3. Now, and the I power 2 from the where we are solving, remember that I power 2 is always what? Minus what? 1. So this minus 1 multiplied by what? I will generate to be what? Minus I. So I power 3 is equal to what? Minus I. That is the answer to this equation. So now let's go. To evaluate I power 4. I power 4 is the same thing as saying I power 2 multiplied by I power 2 by a lot of indices. And recall that I power 2 is the same thing as minus 1. So there we have I power 2 multiplied by I power 2. This will give us what? Minus 1 times minus what? 1. Finally, we have it as what? 1. So that means I power 4 is equal to what? 1. Okay, now let's go to I power 5, B. This one is what? B. Solution B. C. We have that I power 5. By a lot of indices, I power 5 imply I power 3, I power 2 multiplied by I power 2 multiplied by I. Somebody can say I power 4 in as much as you have known the result of I power 4. Someone can say I power 4 multiplied by I. So that when you add them, you still get it. So now what do we have here? Minus 1 multiplied by minus 1 multiplied by I. So minus times minus will still give us what? 1 multiplied by what? I. So this is equal to what? I. That means I power 5 is equal to what? I. Answer. So even if you do it here, I power 4 means 1. Can be 1 times what? I. Finally, it will give us what? I. So I power 5 is equal to what? I. That is how to solve the equation. Okay, let's continue here. Okay, now let's go to I power 11. I power 11, that is solution what? D. I power 11 is the same thing as saying I power 5 multiply by I power 5 multiply by what? I. From our previous knowledge, you know that I power 1 is what? I. This is I multiply by what? Another word? I. Multiply by what? Another I. What do we do? I times I will give us I square multiply by I. And always record that I square is minus 1. So we have it as minus 1 multiplied by what? I. Finally, we have that I power 11. We have that I power 11 is equal to what? Minus I. And that is the answer. Okay, no problem. Let's go to solution uh, E. So E, they say that that I power 22. So what do we do here? You can split this into 4 or into 5, depends how you want it. Somebody can split this into 2. Let me go like this. I know that I power 11 multiplied by I power 11 will give me I power 22. And I have already know that my I power 11, where you recall that I power 11 is minus I multiplied by what? Minus what? I. So minus with times minus, we have it as what? I square, whereby I square is the same thing as saying what? Minus what? Minus 1. So I square is the same thing as saying what? Minus 1. Therefore, I power 22 is the same thing as what? Minus what? 1. And that is your answer. You can solve this in this way again. You can say that I power 22 is the same thing as say I power 5 times I power 5 times I power 5 times I power 5 times I power 2. I to I, this is power 5 power 5, 10. Power 5 power 5, 10. 10 will give us 20 plus 2, 22. So we have that I power 22 is equal to I power 5. From our previous class, what is I power 5? I. That means this is I multiplied by I multiplied by I multiplied by I multiplied by what? Minus 1, because I power what? 2 is what? Minus 1. So I times I will give us I square multiply by I times I will give us I square multiply by what? Minus 1. Okay, multiply by what? Minus 1. What do we do here? This is the same thing as us. Minus 1 multiply by minus 1 multiply by minus 1. Now let's go. Minus to minus will give us 1. 1 times what? Minus 1. Finally, we have what? Minus 1. So I power 22 is equal to what? Minus 11. That is how to solve it. So you can go on and solve I power 25. I power 25 will be I into 5 up to 5 times, and you get your answer. Likewise, 100. You know that I into 100. You can say that do this one on your own. Now I power 100 is equal to I power 25 multiplied by I power 25 multiplied by I power 25 multiplied by I power 25. Whatever result you get from the F, you substitute here and get your answer. And that is how to solve it. Which somebody can break this in by I power 25, I power 25. Let's just do it somewhere else. let's see the result, what the result will look like. Are you through here? Okay, let me do it here. So I power 25, so that we know the answer. F is equals to I power 25, which is the same thing as I power 5 multiplied by I power 5 multiplied by I power what? 5 multiplied by I power 5 multiplied by I power 5. Now this is I, which is 10. When you add them 10 plus 5, 25. And always recall that I power 5 is what? I times I times I times I times what? I. So I to I will give us I square. Multiply by I to I will give us I square. Multiply by what? I square, remember that is minus 1. Multiply by what? Minus 1. Multiply by what? I. Finally, minus times this will give us 1. 1 times I will give us this. Finally, I 25 is equal to what? I. And that is the solution. So if I power 25 is equal to I, that means I power 25 here will be what? I multiply by I multiply by I multiply by I to make up to 100. This time this plus this 50, this plus this 50, 50 plus 50 will give you 100. So now I multiply by I will give us I square. Multiply by what? I will give us what? I square. And I square is always what? Minus 1 times what? Minus 1. I power 100 is equals to, now I power 100 is equal to what? 1. Finally, our I power 100. Finally, I power 100 will give us I power 100 is equals to what? 1. That's our answer. And that is how to resolve this. Even if it is power 50, power 500, power 1000, power 3000, power 300, power any power, begin to split them one after the other, and take it. Always remember that I square is equal to what? Minus 1. And you solve. You will generate a lot of problem. If they give you a lot of problem, you solve it and give them back their solution. So if you have any question, go to the comment section and ask me a question on any question concerning this. More especially in engineering, make use of I, so that when we be solving question from past textbook under this thing, you will be seeing I, or you will see J. But in pure mathematics, we use I. But engineering are using what? J. They are the same thing, and that is how it is. So this is complex number, and it is a complex questions. Thank you. God bless you. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Prismatics Online Class. Bye.